Hi friends, today we are going to discuss the heptanes. Heptanes are the substances which lack the immunogenicity. That is, by themselves they are unable to induce or stimulate the immune system. They are unable to elicit an appropriate immune response from the immune system. These substances are called as the heptanes. Now, Karl Landsteiner was the scientist who made his pioneering work on the heptanes. The meaning of the heptane, the term heptane, it is derived from the Greek language. The meaning is to foster, to enhance, to make it fast is the meaning of the heptane termed by the Karl Landsteiner. So he also did his pioneering work on the blood grouping, as we know. Then what are the molecules to be considered as the heptanes? Those molecules with the low molecular weight. Molecules with the low molecular weight, they are unable to stimulate the immune system. Already previously we discussed the properties of the antigens. Those molecules which are very large, otherwise macromolecules, they can mount an appropriate immune response by stimulating the immune system. Now, these are the low molecular weight molecules, so that they are unable to stimulate the immune system. And the small organic molecules, they interact with the final products of the immune system, that they are antigenic, but they are unable to stimulate the immune system, but they are not immunogenic. Antigenic but not immunogenic. Then these heptanes with the low molecular weight, with the small size, with the lack of immunogenicity, they can be modified into active antigens. Whenever we use an appropriate carrier protein with large size, with appropriate mass, if we combine both the incomplete antigen like the heptane with that of the carrier molecule, thereby we enhance the molecular weight of the molecule, then that will be converted into the normal heptane, into the active antigen that stimulates the immune system and elicits an appropriate immune response. Then whenever it has the capacity to induce an appropriate immune response in the form of humoral response or the cell-mediated response, in the humoral response, these heptanes, when combined with the appropriate carrier molecule, they stimulate the immune system and they derive the antibodies against the same heptane carrier conjugate. That indicates that in general, the heptane by themselves, they never derive antibodies against to them from the immune system. But whenever they get conjugated with the carrier proteins, carrier molecules, due to the fusion of an heptane and the carrier conjugate, then the immune system stimulated and elicits an appropriate response by deriving antibodies against to the heptane individually, antibodies against to the conjugate carrier protein, and also the antibodies against to the combined epitopes of the heptane and the carrier protein. That is, previously as the heptane, as the incomplete antigen, it never stimulates the immune system, it never derives antibodies against to the heptane. Anti-heptane antibodies are not at all derived. But whenever it is conjugated with the appropriate carrier protein, then the conjugate of heptane and the carrier that derive various kinds of antibodies from the system. For example, see, this is the heptane molecule. Alone, by themselves, these heptanes never mount an immune response. So no response has been elicited from the immune system of the individual when only the heptane molecules are introduced into the individual. Whenever the heptane molecules, incomplete adjuvant, incomplete heptanes, incomplete antigens, if they are added to the, other conjugated with that of the large carrier molecule. See, there are many number of heptane molecules conjugated to a large single carrier molecule, that results in the formation of a heptane carrier conjugate. Individually, heptane cannot mount immune response, but whenever many number of heptane molecules conjugated to the carrier, that results in the formation of the heptane carrier conjugate, that results in the induction of immune system, stimulation of the immune system. That indicates that heptanes alone, they never mount, they never induce immune system by themselves, but whenever it is conjugated with carrier molecule, it can mount an appropriate immune response. So this is the heptane carrier conjugate. See, by itself the heptane cannot function as an immunogenic epitope, but whenever it is mixed up with the carrier molecule, it will become immunogen, that elicits an appropriate immune response. Then, for example, what the Karl Landsteiner did is, he has taken the Spincolor components are the heptanes. There are many heptanes conjugated to that of a carrier protein like the BSA. The pink color heptanes are to be considered as the DNP, dinitrophenol, an weak antigen, otherwise a incomplete antigen in the form of dinitrophenol. These dinitrophenol molecules, many number of molecules in the form of epitopes, they are attached to the, conjugated to the carrier protein. The blue color carrier protein is a BSA, bovine serum albumin. Now this DNP, individually it never mount an it never induce an immune response, but whenever it is conjugated with the BSA, it elicits an appropriate immune response. Let us see these DNP molecules in the form of heptanes, they are attached to conjugate, that is a carrier molecule BSA, bovine serum albumin, thereby form a heptane carrier conjugate. Now, whenever it is injected into the rabbits, whenever it is injected, introduced into the rabbit, whenever we are immunized the rabbit with the heptane carrier conjugate of dinitrophenol and the BSA protein, we will observe there is the elicitation of, derivation of three kinds of antibodies. One kind of antibodies against the heptane epitopes. First kind of antibodies against the heptane, and second kind of antibodies against the carrier protein. Now the third set of antibodies, they are against the combining epitopes of the both blue color and pink color. Blue color belongs to epitope of the BSA protein, and pink color that belongs to the heptane DNP. So the some of the antibodies, they have the efficiency to bind with both the epitopes of the BSA protein and the heptane. That indicates that in general, whenever you inject the rabbits directly with the DNP heptane, it shows no response, no immunological response. If you directly inject the BSA, due to the large size, they can mount an appropriate response, thereby the immune system produces anti-BSA antibodies, the antibodies against the bovine serum albumin. And the third time, if you conjugate the protein carrier and the heptane, and both of them collectively introduced into the, injected into the rabbit, thereby, so these three kinds of antibodies have been derived from the immune system of the rabbit. That indicates that heptanes themselves alone, they never induce a particular immune system, they never derive antibodies against themselves. But whenever it is mixed with, combined with appropriate carrier molecule, then both the heptane conjugate component if it is injected into the individual, introduced into the individual, they derive various kinds of antibodies against three kinds of antibodies. One kind of antibodies against the heptane, another kind of antibodies against the carrier protein, and third set of antibodies against the combined epitopes of the heptane and the carrier protein. Then there are the immunological cross reactions. Now, heptanes themselves, they do not induce the immune system directly. The immune system never forms anti-heptane antibodies in general. By adding an appropriate carrier molecule to that of heptane, we introduce them into a particular organism and derive different kinds of antibodies. These are the anti-heptane antibodies. Now, these anti-heptane antibodies were extensively used in various clinical practices, various clinical manifestations. Now, what the Carl Anderson did is, he has taken all the anti-heptane antibodies and tested for attachment of another heptanes. That is, the antibodies which were derived against a particular heptane is tested to combine with, join with another heptanes. Then thereby he came to know some of the anti-heptane antibodies, they are able to bind to other heptanes which are almost similar with slight differences. So this gives an idea to Carl Landsteiner, that is, there will be a immunological cross reaction. So there is a high specificity found in the immune system. That is, a particular antigen can bind with a particular antibody. Otherwise, the antibody shows antibody specificity towards the antigen. Apart from all these, the anti-heptane antibodies has the affinity towards slightly different heptanes rather than the real native heptanes. That gives an idea about the immunological cross reaction. The same way, the toxins and toxoids, otherwise the preparation of various vaccines. So that is also gives an idea about the immunological cross reaction. Immunological cross reaction is the reaction of a particular antibody against a particular heptane that interacts with the, binds with the another heptane which is similar or slightly different to that of the native heptane. That is nothing but the immunological cross reaction. Now there are various examples of the heptanes we can observe here. Dinitrophenol, just we discussed, and aminobenzene. Different models of the, different forms of the aminobenzene. Orthoaminobenzene, para-aminobenzene and meta-aminobenzene, they act like the heptanes. So these three, ortho, meta, para, aminobenzoic acids are also act like the heptanes. And there are the many biological substances, important substances act like the heptanes. So for example, take into consideration the drugs. The penicillin is the drug which shows the heptane activity, and peptide hormones and also the steroid hormones. So all these are the heptanes. We will combine them with the appropriate conjugate, that is a carrier, forms the heptane conjugate complex and introduce into different organisms, and we derive antibodies against the heptane molecules. These anti-heptane molecules are used in the clinical practices. See, what happens when we add the heptane with the carrier? Then heptane carrier produces the anti-heptane antibodies in the individual's body. So the best example how they are utilized in various practices is anti-heptane antibodies are used in the preg kit. Usually, if you want to know a particular individual woman, if she is conceived or not, then we will use the anti-heptane antibodies to determine the pregnancy test, pregnancy. Now, how do we determine the pregnancy of a women is the pregnancy women's urine contain a particular protein which is called as the human chorionic gonadotrophin. Human chorionic gonadotrophin. It is a small hormone, peptide hormone. Now we have prepared antibodies against the human chorionic gonadotrophin. We will formulate in the strip, and thereby if you collect the urine sample from the pregnant women and thereby dip the kit, otherwise the strip in the urine of the urine sample of the pregnant women, and thereby there is a control mark over the strip. If you find out another mark along with the control mark, then that gives the confirmation test for the pregnancy. That is, we use anti-heptin antibodies in determining the pregnancy. Simple. How? We used the antibodies against the human chorionic gonadotrophin. So these human chorionic gonadotrophins antibodies are used in the strip. They interact with the HCG, human chorionic gonadotrophin of the urine sample of the pregnant women. So that indicates there is a reaction in between the antibodies of the HCG and the real HCG molecules which are present in the urine sample of the women. That gives a detection test, the detection mark. Then that marker confirms the pregnancy test of the women. And also some of the times the heptins which are present, they also leads to the autoimmune disorders. Most of the times the autoimmune disorders like the hemolytic anemia and also the systemic lupus erythematosus, they are induced by the heptins. So that is, we will use the anti-heptin antibodies in various clinical tests, diagnosis tests, and also some of the times these heptins, they induce the immune responses. So this is the heptins, that is the incomplete antigens which can interact with the final products of the immune system. They are antigenic but not the immunogenic. They never stimulate a particular immune system. That should be considered as a heptin. So the meaning is to foster the reaction. Then Carl Anderson was a pioneering scientist about the heptins, and we have discussed the heptins and how we will use the carrier protein to induce the capacity of the heptin to become the incomplete antigen to the complete antigen, right? And the application, various examples of the heptins and the applications of the heptins. By this I am concluding this topic, heptins. Thank you.